Neuralink called me a conspiracy theorist with evidence. Again, a conspiracy is a plot of two or more people plotting to commit a crime, and a theory is an idea, right? So, a lot of these things they put in your face, like Operation Midnight Climax. It's the same thing we're going through right now. It's publicized as a CIA thing, right? It's a cover-up for a robbery. It turns out. That's Operation Midnight Climax, and that's usable in court because it was brought out through the Freedom of Information Act. So that's usable. CoIntelPro is usable. You can just match the situations up to mine, and then introduce more evidence, and should be a slam dunk. 360 windmill between the legs, slam dunk. There's a lot of documents that were destroyed to cover it up, just like CoIntelPro. They were just talking about it the other day. When CoIntelPro was made illegal, right, you couldn't do it. They decided, all right, we're not going to write out everything we're doing. But before they did that, everything that they were doing to people was being documented, right? Invading groups and taking them out. Any groups are the good guys, but according to the documents, they assume that they're the bad guys. So, no crimes are being committed, but they're being watched and they're being attacked by FBI agents. The FBI agents wrote it, and I've seen in this situation, like Neuralink has the FBI agent who's scared, right? And he's writing out whatever they say, right? Or scared or pleasured, one of the two. And they're writing out whatever they say. Now, I just showed you Project Artichoke, right? Which is it's another project, right? Robbery, try and cover up. It talks about interrogation and collecting information. It said FBI, Army, Navy are involved with collecting of information. That means they're robbing somebody, and everybody else who's being concentrated or in the sex trafficking ring has to produce the information that they want them to have, right? It talks about torture. It talks about turning people into assassins, right? So you got people going around killing people who don't want to be involved with it, who don't want to lie about the story. Then you have all those departments who are caught up in the extortion and sex trafficking ring. This situation kind of, put it all out there. And then since they destroyed all the documentation for those, they didn't have somebody there basically recording it themselves, right? And then Elon Musk putting everything out there, using his subliminal messages made it obvious. The last one talks about them gaining control over prisoners of war and others, right? They have different opinions of people. They'll classify people as being less intelligent than them. In reality, that's not how it works out. In order to be in a position where you have to rob people and you have to get them to change their story, right? Because the truth is too hard for you to face. You're normally the one that's less intelligent. But anyway, prisoners of war, just like this situation, they declared war on me and the area. So the police are supposed to be on our side. The kids, the community, it's all of us versus them. I had to add something briefly. This is a modern day Ku Klux Klan invasion. Back in the day, they ran around with the white bedsheets, right? But then they invaded the CIA. The CIA became the Ku Klux Klan behind the scenes, and this is how they cover up everything they're doing. They came and invade us, flip this area around, and turn it into a human trafficking city, or an Illuminati city, as they've called it. So this is who the Illuminati is, right? Group of people controlling technology, which controls other people behind the scenes, and use them to destroy each other themselves. The Stargate project, they use the company SRI, and the Army was in this situation. They used Neuralink, right? It says a small group of people. It said 15, 20 people, right? Same situation, small operation. That's what I'm saying. Just got to collapse on that group, right? And it's over. It says they could see things from a distance. Psychic hunt, right? They found the psychic and used the technology to get his thought process, so you can see far things from a distance, which was me. I was seeing things that they couldn't see, right? And it said, call it the psychic phenomenon in the military. So they start a private military. Everybody in that private military gets knowledge that they're robbing the person of, and it's a remote viewing, so you have people stationed all over the place. Or locally, right? They move somebody to Garden Grove. It's the exact same situation, and everything else is a cover-up. One's CoIntelPro, countering intelligence program. They call it counterintelligence, but countering intelligence, fighting back against intelligence, right? Against intelligent people. FBI got credit for the entire operation, but the military, U.S. Army, kind of put themselves out there when the documentation for Jones and for Malcolm X came out, right? Freedom of Information Act. So they were behind it. It's the same thing as a CIA project. They're controlling the stuff behind the scenes. Klan operatives in the military get people involved with the extortion and sex trafficking ring in the FBI. With the FBI, special agent in charge of the LA office, right, said that the Illuminati was invading the FBI. That's real, right? They call them conspiracy theorists because you get the people around him involved with the Illuminati and get them to try to discredit him or stop him from moving up or solving the case. Back to CoIntelPro, it said subversive, so they're disrupting the order, right? You don't have people who are committing crimes, right? You have Martin Luther King, right? He's one of the most positive people. He's trying to push progression of your rights, right? Of black people's rights, because that was the thing at the time. Segregation was the thing that they were trying to fix, whether it was legal segregation or social segregation, or the people were the ones that were doing it even afterwards. Try to get rid of racism. You have the anti-Vietnamese war group. You go against them wanting to go to war, and they don't want you to get people on your side, right? So they invade you, start a Klan militia. Anybody who doesn't go with your narrative, they're put into the human trafficking ring. It's the same thing that's been going on throughout history since Jesus, right? Jesus was good to his people, right? You have Julius Caesar, good to his people, even his troops, offering them land. They didn't want him to be that good of a person, right? You have in the 1500s, Africa had a bunch of money, gold, went in to rob them, and then overthrow their government and enslaved all the Africans into a labor trafficking ring. And again, this is what it's been throughout history. This is evil, right? This is a sex trafficking industry, child sex trafficking industry, human trafficking industry. This is how slaves were got all the way back to Moses, right? Moses' situation. He actually got his people back. So that's the evil that I'm facing, that I'm trying to get rid of. I don't want that to be something that the world isn't rid of as soon as possible. Go back to the Stargate operation, or Stargate project, where since you saw they were using SRI, now they're using Neuralink, and then Neuralink robbed them, right? They use a computer brain interface. Neuralink was inside everybody, and flipped the switch, flipped the script, the storyline, put themselves on top, Elon Musk on top. He took over Neuralink. So now he's the representative of evil. He represents evil. He represents the devil, right? That character, the devil character. Worshipping Baphomet, right? You see the devil's champion vest that he's wearing with Baphomet. Then you look up Baphomet statues, and you see the kids pointing up, and they're in a trance, right? That's child sex trafficking and slavery, right? And it's not something that we as a people of the world should have to endure. God doesn't want it that way. Just like with Moses, they're worshiping in Egypt, they're worshiping false gods, and they're doing the same thing.